Let's take a look at some definitions. In this lesson, we're going to define the meaning of cloud computing, networks, pools, services, as well as some frequently used acronyms like IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Let's start with cloud computing. It has no standard definition really, but the one we often use comes from the US National Institute of Standards and Technologies, or NIST. Now get ready for this, it's a long one. According to NIST, cloud computing is a model for enabling ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources, such as networks, servers, storage, applications, and services that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort or service provider interaction. That was quite a mouthful, but perhaps you noted 3 keywords: networks, pool, and services. Let's talk about networks first. Networks are essential to cloud computing. A complete cloud computing environment consists of 3 things: servers, networks, and terminals, which is a fancy word for devices. In this context, servers refers to computing resources that process tasks. Servers do all the heavy lifting. A terminal is an input or output device, such as a smartphone, laptop, or smartwatch. This is what the end user sees and interacts with. The role of networks is to act as a high-speed information pipe that enables servers over here and terminals over there to exchange information in real time. So what's a pool? In cloud computing, when we talk about resources, we're talking about things like processing power, data storage, networks, applications, and services. All of these resources are pooled together into a resource pool, and they're available for all cloud customers to use. The resources in these pools are configurable, meaning that they can be remotely controlled by software. They can be quickly accessed and released, as we saw in the previous chapter. Now services. This one has come up a lot already. Cloud computing provides computing resources to customers in the form of services. So if you log into the dashboard of a cloud service provider, you can often find several hundred different cloud services to choose from. Now, services are provided under 3 different models. They're called infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. These are often called the cloud stack. They operate on different layers and build on one another. So what are they, and what's the difference? There's a classic illustration for the 3 cloud service models. Imagine you're a caterer and you want to get into the pizza business. You can make your own pizza from start to finish, but it's a lot of trouble, so you decide to outsource some of the work. Your first option is IaaS, or infrastructure as a service. Someone provides you with a kitchen and all of the hardware appliances you need, your stoves, ovens, and refrigerators, and you use this infrastructure to make your pizza. Under this model, you still need to create the dough, toppings, and bake the pizza on your own. When it comes to cloud, if you're using infrastructure as a service, you are responsible for managing these services in blue. Think of these as you making your pizza, whereas the cloud vendor, they provide these services. IaaS is the bottom layer of cloud services and provides the most basic resources. The second layer, or your second option, is known as PaaS, or platform as a service. In the pizza example, in addition to infrastructure, imagining outsourcing your pizza crusts too. So the dough is essentially the platform for your pizza. You get the dough, you get the crust, you spread your own sauce and sprinkle your own toppings, but then you let the supplier bake the pizza for you. In other words, all you have to do is design the flavor of the pizza, as long as it doesn't have pineapple because that's disgusting. And others provide platform services that allow you to implement your recipe. With PaaS, the vendor also provides you runtime, middleware, and all the operating systems you need, and you manage only the applications and data yourself, your pizza ingredients. This allows developers to focus on their own business needs, and not how the IT system actually operates. 2 examples you might be familiar with are Google App Engine and OpenShift. The third and top layer is SaaS, or software as a service. To return to the pizza example, SaaS is basically like directly outsourcing the entire pizza making process without any intervention from you. As a user, what you get is the finished product. Say a famous celebrity like George Clooney or Shaquille O'Neal gets bored and wants to get into the pizza business. This is the way to do it. They might not know much about how to run a pizzeria, but they can use their personal brands to sell the product. So in cloud, SaaS refers to the development, management, and deployment of software by a third party. These are user-facing applications. So as a user, you don't need to pay attention or even be aware of technical issues, and you can directly use the product. Almost all internet services that we use these days are provided in the form of software as a service. Some examples are Windows 365, WhatsApp or WeChat, Google Apps, Dropbox, and social media applications like Facebook, Twitter, or X, I guess, and Instagram. So to summarize, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS are the three service models of cloud computing. And that's all for key definitions. In the next chapter, we'll look at cloud deployment models.